Hi, so it's Amanda again, and today I'm going to show you one of my favorite extension methods. It adds volume, it adds thickness, it's a really great add-on service for your clientele. See my setup here, I've got my pliers, I've got my threaders, I've got my thread, my needle, everything's nice and organized to do this service. So my model Stephanie is going to be a perfect example of someone who loves to wear their hair longer, doesn't have the density that she would like, and this is a perfect addition to give her that thick, full, pretty hair that she wants. Okay, so I want to show you what a grown out track looks like. You know me, I like reusable, recyclable, and easy on the wallet. This particular method, you can use the hair over and over again. This is our third maintenance, I think, Stephanie. So if you come close, you can see here that it grows out beautifully and evenly. And what I do like about this method with the beads is the tension is completely consistent, so there's no additional stress on the hair. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how to remove the track. I'll show you what Stephanie's hair looks like in its natural form, and then we'll go through the process of reapplying. So you'll notice that I'm making sure that I get the scissors, I'm only cutting the thread just to unpick the weft. That's the first step. Just making sure you have good light and a small enough pair of scissors that get right underneath that thread. So now I'm just taking away all the excess thread. And now we're going to remove the row of beads. Okay, so you've got two choices of tools. This is a diamond and this is a prong. The prong opens up the bead into a circle that can just slip away. The diamond also does the same thing, you just have to hold it at a slightly different angle. Let's talk about the myth that extensions ruin your hair. In some cases that can be true if it's not correctly applied and it's incorrectly reapplied. So I'm going to comb out all these sheds. Remember, this is 6 weeks of hair shedding. It's all going to come out at the same time. But because with this bead method, the points of pressure are so consistent, there is not one place that the hair becomes stressed. And that's why I like this method. It's very gentle, it's very kind on the hair. And you'll see if you get close up here, that the hair that's coming out of the head is all the dead, shedded hair that she would have normally lost every time she brushed her hair, took a shower. This is nothing out of the ordinary. So now you can see, when I turn the hair over on my finger, any breakage you would see, short hairs popping up. You can see how perfect Steph's hair is, having worn that for the past 5 weeks. So here's Steph. And you can see that Steph's hair is just a little light on the ends. It's got nice density to about here. Talking about the tracks, I can put one track in. What I love about this method is it's reusable, it's recyclable. You can use it over and over again, and it's very wallet friendly. And it just gives a little bit of density onto the ends. So about 6 weeks you can get out of this before it needs to be maintained. And it's also very easy to wear. You can still tie your hair up or a ponytail. It's very, very easy to use. Okay, so now you see Stephanie's hair dried, and her hair actually is very pretty. It just could do with a little bit more love. And you know, Stephanie brought up a really interesting point to me. The wear and tear with extensions for something like this actually takes some of the heat off the hair. So Stephanie, you had said to me that you actually don't have to mess with your hair as often, you don't have to style it as much, wash it as much. So it's actually increased the quality of Stephanie's hair over time versus people feeling like it's going to take away from the quality of someone's hair. So I think this is a real testament to this is the best Stephanie's hair has looked with no extensions in it. Okay, so the one thing I like to do with the beads is I like to lock in a couple tight together so it takes any pressure off the very starting point that holds the majority of the weight. So first bead, second bead, pretty close together. I find that locking them on the diagonal stops any slippage, so it makes for a firmer base for the weft to be tied through. So sideways all the way through. Okay, so you can see I've done my lengths of beads, joined them up in the center, and the next step is to thread and to sew the track on. So what I love about this method is you can have some fun. If you want to do a pop of color, instead of bleaching and ruining the natural hair, you can just put in a row that has got natural highlights in it. So if Steph fancied having some blonde highlights, would you pull that over your shoulder? There you go. Hey. See, she can have some natural highlights without ruining the hair. So today we're going to go back to just making the hair look healthy, shiny. So we're going to go back with a natural base color. So you can see that you can have a little bit of fun. And this again is more my hair enhancement method versus having a full set of extensions. So this is one of the most important areas to lock in the corner. I'm going to do a couple of stitches, 2 over and 2 to the side. So initially you want to get in the middle of the thread. Keep the thread up. It really does help keep it organized and clean. Okay, so you can see that's the track. We're going to take down Steph's hair, and all I need to do is get her hair out. All I need to do now is trim off any loose hairs that fall below the track. My advice with the track is to start a little higher if someone's growing their hair, so each maintenance you can drop down until you no longer can drop down and then put a new piece in. So you can actually actively grow your hair out wearing extensions. You just know how to do your placement. More top tips to come on that, so keep watching my videos. So this is Steph finished with just her one track, which I think you can agree just gives the ends a little bit more depth and density. The placement means that she can still do a high ponytail. There's enough free zone to cover over. She can tie her hair back, tuck it behind her ears because the piece sits back about 3 fingers deep. Her beautiful sexy bangs cover over. And I think you will agree that it just is a really, really pretty hair enhancement. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Amanda Shuttleworth and I give good hair.